everything you're chasing. Money, success, relationships, peace, none of it will last. You'll achieve, you'll lose, you'll achieve again, you'll lose again, and then you'll die and be born again and repeat the whole cycle unless you attain the one thing that breaks this loop forever. Moksha, liberation, the end of all suffering, the end of all seeking. Today, we're going to explore the only way to actually attain it. Not philosophy, not theory. The actual path that Krishna revealed in the Bhagavad Gita. Before we talk about how to attain moksha, let's understand what it actually is. Most people think moksha means going to some paradise after death, sitting in clouds, eternal relaxation. That's not moksha. That's just a higher realm, still temporary, still within the cycle. Moksha is something far more profound. It's complete freedom from the cycle of birth and death. No more coming back, no more forgetting who you are, no more suffering through the same lessons over and over. In chapter 8, verse 15 of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes those who attain moksha. After attaining me, the great souls never return to this temporary world, which is full of misery, because they have attained the highest perfection. Never return, highest perfection. This is not about escaping life because you're tired. It's about graduating from this school of existence because you've learned everything it was meant to teach you. And if you're watching this video, searching for answers, something inside you already knows there's more. There's a reason you're not satisfied with temporary achievements. Your soul remembers what it's actually seeking. Before we continue, if this channel helps you see life differently, take a moment to subscribe. These teachings deserve to reach those who are ready for them. Now let's go deeper. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't attain moksha, not because it's impossible, but because they're not actually seeking it. They say they want peace, but they keep chasing chaos. They say they want freedom, but they keep building new prisons of desire, of ego, of attachment. They want liberation while simultaneously clinging to everything that binds them. In chapter 7, verse 19, Krishna explains how rare true seekers are. After many births and deaths, one who is truly in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing that I am the cause of all causes. Such a great soul is very rare. Many births, many deaths, many lifetimes of seeking before someone is ready to truly surrender. This isn't discouraging. This is clarifying. If you're seriously asking about moksha, if you're not just curious but genuinely hungry for liberation, you're already ahead of most souls who have ever lived. The question is, are you ready to walk the path, or are you still window shopping? So what does it actually take? Let's start with the foundation that most people skip. In chapter 2, verse 71, Krishna describes the first requirement. A person who has given up all desires for sense gratification, who lives free from desires, who has given up all sense of proprietorship and is devoid of ego, that person alone can attain real peace. Given up all desires, free from ego, no sense of ownership. This sounds extreme, and people either dismiss it as impossible or try to fake it. But Krishna isn't saying you become emotionless. He's saying you stop being controlled by desires. You can enjoy life without clinging. You can work without obsessing over results. You can have relationships without making them your identity. The grip loosens. You still participate in life, but life no longer owns you. This is the foundation. Without this, everything else is just spiritual entertainment. Now, Krishna reveals multiple paths to moksha, not because truth is different for different people, but because people are different. The first path is karma yoga, the path of selfless action. You continue doing your duty, working, living, but without attachment to results. Every action becomes an offering to the divine. Nothing is done for personal gain. In chapter 9, verse 28, Krishna explains, "In this way you will be freed from bondage to work and its results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me." Action without attachment leads to liberation. The second path is Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion, pure love for the divine, not asking for anything, not bargaining, just surrender. Your entire being becomes focused on God. Every thought, every breath, every moment becomes worship. In chapter 12, verse 6 to 7, Krishna promises For those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, for them whose minds are fixed on me, I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Swift deliverer, not thousands of lifetimes. Swift for those who truly surrender. The third path is Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge. Deep inquiry into the nature of reality, understanding what is real and what is illusion, realizing that you are not the body, not the mind, but eternal consciousness. In chapter 4, verse 38, Krishna declares, "In this world there is nothing as purifying as transcendental knowledge. One who has become accomplished in yoga finds this knowledge within himself in due course of time. Knowledge burns away ignorance, and with ignorance gone, liberation is natural." But here's what most people miss. These paths, action, devotion, knowledge, they're not separate highways to different destinations. They're the same mountain approached from different sides. And the peak, the one truth that ties everything together, surrender. Complete, absolute, unconditional surrender to the divine. In chapter 18, verses 65 to 66, Krishna gives the ultimate instruction. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are very dear to me. Abandon all varieties of dharma and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. This is it, the essence of everything. Not your effort, not your practice, not your achievements. Surrender. When you stop trying to liberate yourself and simply give everything to the divine, that's when liberation finds you. You've been trying to climb the wall. Krishna is saying, just open the gate. It was never locked. So what actually happens when you attain moksha? This is where words fail, but let's try. In chapter 15, verse 6, Krishna describes the supreme destination. That supreme abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. Not illumined by sun or moon. This is not a physical place. It's beyond the material universe entirely. You don't go somewhere new. You wake up from the dream you thought was real. Imagine you've been dreaming your whole life. In the dream, you suffered, you achieved, you lost, you loved, you died, you were born again. Moksha is waking up from that dream and realizing you were never actually in danger. You were never actually bound. The chains were always imaginary. In chapter 18, verse 54, Krishna describes the liberated state. One who is transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments nor desires anything. Being equal to all beings, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Never laments, never desires, equal to all, fully joyful, not happiness dependent on circumstances. Joy as your nature, peace as your permanent state. This isn't death, this is finally, truly living. So how do you actually start? Let's get practical. First, daily remembrance, whatever name of God resonates with you. Krishna, Rama, Shiva, the divine source. Keep it in your consciousness, morning, evening, throughout the day. The more you remember, the less the world owns you. Second, practice non-attachment with small things first. That argument you want to win, let it go. That recognition you crave, release it. That outcome you're obsessing over, offer it up. Small surrenders prepare you for the ultimate surrender. Third, serve without keeping score. Help someone with zero expectation. Give without telling anyone. Act without needing credit. This breaks the ego's grip faster than any meditation. Fourth, study the teachings regularly, not as intellectual exercise, but as reminders to your soul. The Bhagavad Gita isn't meant to be read once. It's meant to be lived daily. Fifth, find a practice and commit. Whether it's chanting, meditation, prayer, or selfless service, pick one path and go deep. Shallow exploration of many paths leads nowhere. Deep commitment to one path leads to the summit. In chapter 8, verse 14, Krishna assures, "For one who always remembers me without deviation, I'm easy to obtain because of his constant engagement in devotional service." Easy to obtain. For those who stay devoted without deviation. Here's the truth most spiritual seekers don't want to hear. Moksha isn't complicated. It's simple. But simple isn't easy. The path is clear. Surrender. Remember the divine constantly. Act without attachment. Love without conditions. Let go of who you think you are. The difficulty is not in understanding the path. The difficulty is in walking it while the world pulls you in every other direction. But if you're still watching, something in you recognizes this truth. Something in you is ready. Don't let this video be just another piece of content you consume and forget. Let it be the moment you decided to take liberation seriously. Your soul has been waiting for this. Lifetimes of searching have led you here. Now walk the path. If this message had value for you and you'd like to support this work, you can become a channel member. Jai Shri Krishna.